Welcome to my National Podcast. Let's get into it. Welcome to my National Podcast. Today is Tuesday. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the start to your week. I know it is the start to the week, so I know how that be. That's always the shittiest part of the week is the start of the week, you know what I mean? But you're past the Monday blues, you're on to the Tuesday, you know what I mean? You got your episode. So hopefully while you're driving to work, you're listening to your boy yap on about some bullshit that we got going on and some crazy people's stories, dipping into people's lives and all that good stuff. So without further ado, let's get into today's thread. Today's thread is, how did you find out you were getting cheated on? Let's see how y'all found out you were getting cheated on. Man. Okay. How did you find out you were getting cheated on? A flirty text from a guy popped up on while we were looking at her phone for a place to eat. He complimented a picture I had just taken of her. She sent it to him while around me, bold. Also, this happened in the Eiffel Tower, only a couple of hours into what was supposed to be a 2-week vacation. Oh, bro, imagine taking your girl to fucking Paris and she is over here sending another man pictures. That's crazy. That is crazy, bro. And I guarantee you it was a thing where she was going to break up with him. But what happened is she was going to wait until after the Paris trip, then break up with this nigga, and then go be with the other dude. Man, the scandalousness is crazy, bro. She was like, I ain't missing out on that free trip. The fuck? And I bet she was talking to the other dude like, no, look. I'm just get this free trip out of this dude, and then I'm going to break up with him, and then it's going to be you and me, baby. It's going to be you and me. I'll send you some pictures, some cute-ass pictures of me out there in Paris doing my little thing, you know what I mean? I'll send you a little nipple, you know what I mean? When I'm in the hotel room, I got you, baby. Like, damn, bro. Oh, that's all bad. All bad. How did you find out you were getting cheated on? He gave me his phone to hold while he was having a minor medical procedure. And while in the waiting room, a text came through. It said something like, so we can, doth deed? Oh, do the deed. Okay. There was no spaces in between. It was all one word. So I was like, doth the deed? What are you talking about? Okay. So we can do the deed again. And I was totally confused. So I scrolled up through the text thread and read, I'm sorry if you feel guilty. And no, I'd only feel guilty if I still loved her. And that was the end of that relationship. Yo, homeboy woke up in the anesthesia and was just like, oh, shit. Oh, babe, what's up? She's like, I'm breaking up with you. And he's like, what? Oh, what the fuck? What'd I do? Oh, what happened? Yo. Oh, that's some crazy shit, bro. Crazy work. Hey, man. It was one of those things. Hey, He had it coming though. All right, how did you find out you were getting cheated on? My neighbor told me that there was a odd car parked in my driveway when the ex was supposed to be at work. Oh, no. Yo, I think that's gotta be the worst, man. Finding out by like your neighbors and stuff. Don't get me wrong, like W neighbor, you know what I mean? Like W neighbor all the way. But at the same time, it's just like, that's the worst phone call to get. Imagine being at work, bro. Doing your thing, a lot of dying, you're like, man, I can't wait to get home to my girl. Like, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, blah, blah, blah. And then you get a call and you're like, wait a minute, hello? And it's just like, yeah, man, I just wanted to let you know, like, there's a car out front your house. Like, it's in the driveway and shit. I don't know if that's you or what's going on, but, I know usually you're at work at this time. I just wanted to let you know. And you find out, man, somebody clapping your girl's cheeks in your bed. That's the worst part about it. In your bed is the worst, man. Another man's ball sack sweat was in your bed, man. Imagine that. Imagine that. Another man's booty cheek sweat was in your bed, bro. Oh, man. Homeboy was huffing and puffing. He was, you know what I mean? Balls scraping on the on the blankets. And you over here getting all snuggled up in them ball-smelling blankets. Oh, bro. Oh, that's the worst, man. Oh, that's the worst. Oh, shit. How did you find out you were getting cheated on? The other girl was wearing my clothes in front of me? Yo! What? Homeboy was like, oh, yeah, hey, it's cool. You can wear some of my girl's clothes or whatever. That's wild. Imagine seeing a girl with your outfit on and being like, where did you get that from? Yo, imagine you catch another bitch wearing your clothes out of your closet. Oh, bro. Oh, I feel like that would be on site. That would have to be on site. You would have to fight that bitch right there. You would have to. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You gotta whoop her ass, man. She not only banged your man. All right, like that, sure, whatever. You can break up with him. You'll eventually get over him. But this bitch took clothes out of your closet. That's the most disrespectful shit ever. She was just like, oh yeah, fuck this bitch so much. I'm not only fucking her man, but I'm wearing her clothes. Oh yeah, it's on site, bro. It's on site. I ain't gonna lie to you. If my girl was cheating on me and then I caught man wearing my clothes, bro, it's on site, bro. It's on site. Cause that's some mad disrespect. Like, don't get me wrong. It's one of those things where, like, if I call my girl cheating, it is what it is. Hey, man, you can have her. You can have her at that point. But don't go taking clothes out of my closet, G. Don't go taking clothes out of my closet. That's wild. Hey, damn. How did you find out you were getting cheated on? I was pregnant, and they were doing the standard tests, including STD, and I tested positive for chlamydia. Oh, I was so embarrassed, but glad to have found out because it turns out that can really mess up a pregnancy. Still took me another year to file for divorce, though. Yo, mans was out here paying for coochie, bruh. Man, that's pretty much what it is. See, a lot of people think like motherfuckers are like actually that dirty, and I would argue if they're just like messing around with like a coworker or they're messing around with somebody they know or whatever, 9 times out of 10 they're not dirty like that. The time that your guy gets an STD or he gets burned or whatever, that's because he was paying for coochie. All right, he was either paying an escort, he's paying a bitch on the side of the street, something, but he was paying for that. He was paying for that coochie. That is how that happens. You know what I mean? And that shit is wild to me. You know what I mean? Homeboy, literally, he was paying for coochie, bro. Yeah, he was paying for it. That man was paying, because that's why she didn't find out until the test. Because there was no relationship. There was no, like, text messages. There was no, you know what I mean? There's no paper trail. It's a thing where he found a hole on the side of the street and was just like, hey, man, I got $150. You willing to do something strange for a piece of change? And she was just like, yeah, I'm down to do something strange for a piece of change. And then got some chlamydia. Didn't know he had chlamydia. Gave it to her. Crazy work. But yeah, man. Yeah, that dude was paying for coochie. How did you find out you were getting cheated on? I didn't know at the time we broke up for sure, but she was engaged a week after we broke up. Oh, bruh. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. As a dude, that's like the worst feeling in the world. You know, the worst feeling in the world. And why? How do I know? Because I went through it. You know what I mean? Like, my ex-fiance and I, like, we broke up, and it wasn't even like a month later, she already had another dude. You know what I mean? She had another dude just already, and I was like, oh, wow. And the crazy thing about it is I found out from family, you know what I mean? Namely my mom. I have found out from her because they had went to where my mom works, and I was just, and then, you know, she ended up telling me, and I was just like, that's cool. That's cool. You know, like, I ain't all, you know, and this is one of those things where, you know, you're in that mode of healing, and you're just like trying to get over it, trying to get past it, trying to be like, you know what, it's okay. And then you hear that shit, and you're just like, I will never financially recover from this. You know, I'm like, bro, oh, it's bad. Yeah, man. Yeah. I ain't gonna lie to you, like, especially, you know, for me, the gym and this podcast definitely saved me. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. You know, because I always tell guys that, like, when you know, if a girl breaks up with you, she cheats on you, whatever the case may be, and you're really distraught about it, you know, get in the gym. Because for one, that helps out with your confidence, that gets you out of the house. You know what I mean? It just kind of, it's like starting a cold, you know, chainsaw. It just gets you going, you know. And then, you know, find a hobby, find something that you can really engross your time in. Because it's worked for me. You know, getting in the gym really helped me out because it got me going, got me out of the house a little bit. And then starting the podcast, I just put all my time and effort into this, you know, and it really helped me out. And it got to a point where, you know, I can kind of talk about, you know, my previous experience and be able to help other people out, which is really nice. But yeah, bro, I know how that feels, man. I mean, don't get me wrong. They're not like engaged or anything. They probably could be. I don't know. But I understand that, though. You know what I mean? You guys break up, and then all of a sudden, she's just bada boom, bada bing in another relationship, and you're like, damn, I didn't mean shit. All right, how did you find out you were getting cheated on? My friends found out before me, and knew the cheater was going to the movies together. My friends bred me to go see the movies. I guess begged me to go to the movies with them so that I could catch them in the act, because they knew I wouldn't believe them if they just told me. True friends, facts. That is a true fucking friend right there, because they look at it like, I'm not gonna say it because I don't want you to think I'm a hating ass nigga or nothing. I'ma show you this is what's happening, because I guarantee you. You know, they walked up in that bitch and they were just like, oh, yeah, man, I'm glad you came out, bro. And wait a minute. Is that Sharkeisha over there? Yo, that's Sharkeisha. Yo, she's with Daquan, son. He's like, oh, hell nah. What the fuck? Hey, Sharkeisha, what's going on? And she's like, James? Oh, my God. What are you doing here? You know? Obviously, that ain't their names, but I'm just saying. But yeah, bro, like, that's a W friend, man. I would want my friends to do that. I want my friends to know what's going on and being like, yeah, we gonna catch this bitch. We gonna catch this bitch, man. W friend. All right, how did you find out you were getting cheated on? He hooked up with random girls when he was supposed to be at his mom's. Damn. One evening at a friend's party, there was a girl who wasn't of our group. A friend of a friend. She went, hi, remember me? It was so fun.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Yo. She must have knew. She must have knew that the dude that she fucked on, you were the girlfriend. Because that's some wild shit for her to walk up to you and be like, oh, hey, remember me? Yeah, bitch. I had so much fun with your man. Oh my God. We play naked jumping jacks and you know, the naked wheelbarrow and all that shit. It was amazing. I'm like, damn, bro, that's a bold bitch. You should have fought her, bro. That's another situation where it's on site. You know what I mean? It's wearing your clothes. I ain't never heard of that, though. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't never heard of a bitch wearing another bitch's clothes. That's wild. But but it's either wearing your clothes or it's walking up to you and being bold enough to be like, yeah, your man clapped my cheeks. What you gonna do about it? That's some wild shit. That's some wild shit. Oh my God. Crazy work. How did you find out you were getting cheated on? The other woman knocked on my front door and asked me to take my kid and get out so that the two of them could be together and happy. Yo! She put man's kid in her car, drove to that bitch's house and was like, hey, take your fucking Rugrat and get the fuck out of our lives. We're happy. We want to be happy together. And I ain't trying to have this fucking Rugrat running around. Go be a single mom somewhere. Yo. Wow. Okay. Hey, I ain't gonna lie to you. You should have fought that bitch. Oh, man, you should have fought that bitch, bro. There's no way. There's no way she could do that to you, bro, and to your kid. That's why I'm saying fight her, because she put your kid in her car and then walked that kid up to your door and said, hey, take your fucking kid and get out of our lives so we can be happy. Yo. Oh my. You should have fought that bitch, man. That's fighting words. You should have been like, oh, Jacob, mommy is about to do something that you should never do, okay? All right, now go to your room. Mink, you know what I mean? Start beating that bitch, bro. What are you doing? Ripping her hair out and shit. Man, you know, let her go back. Let her go back to that dude all beat up. What the fuck? That's wild. All right, how did you find out you were getting cheated on? Phone bill. She was texting some random number 600 times a month. I thought I recognized the number, and when I put it in my phone, it was a buddy of mine. Oh, bruh. That's some crazy shit, man. Dude, this is why I have a small friend group. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's why I have a very small, like guys that I fuck with on a day-to-day basis, guys that I really, you know, fuck with, like, hey, man, you my boy. They're guys that they would never, and I mean ever, you know, try to make a move on my girl. Because I'm telling you, man, those friendships are the worst. That is the worst betrayal that you could ever have as a man. Your dude trying to steal your girl, man. Oh, that's some crazy shit. Now, don't get me wrong. If my mans came up to me and he was like, yo, man, hey, your girl out here trying to make some moves on me, this and that. And you know, he proved it to me, whether it was through text or, you know, we kind of set her up. And I was spying, whatever it may be. Like, cool, you know what I mean? I would respect my mans in that situation. But if he's out here clapping my girl or even wanting to, man, that's the biggest betrayal. At that point, yeah, bro, hands on, man. Hey, we throwing hands, man. We throwing hands, bro. And it's not over her. You can have her. We're throwing hands because you betrayed the friendship. That's why we're throwing hands. We're throwing hands because you betrayed me as a man. You know, I don't give a fuck about her no more. You can have that dirty hoe. All right? I don't give a shit about her. But I'm going to beat your ass because you pretty much disrespecting me as a man. That's crazy. It's crazy. That's the biggest form of betrayal. Damn. All right. How did you find out that you were getting cheated on? A man knocked on my door and introduced himself as the husband of a woman that my husband worked with. Wait, what? Hold up. Hold up. That sentence was a handful. So a man knocked on your door and said, "Hi, I am the husband of Michelle. And Michelle works with your husband." So I assume he found out that Michelle was fucking on another dude that he worked with. He did a little Facebooking and was just like, "Oh, okay. Hey, let me go ahead and find out where you live real quick." You know what I mean? He said, and then he was just like, "Hey, so, my wife's fucking your husband. What we gonna do about it?" I ain't gonna lie to you. If I was the husband in that situation, I'd be like, "Hey, why don't we start fucking?" You know what I mean? Hey, give them some of their own medicine. We ain't got to be in love or nothing, but hey, they can see how it feels. You know what I mean? Shit. I don't know if she'd be down for that. Yeah, but at the same time, I'd throw it out there. I would throw it out there. Oh, and I would give her a mean dicking. Oh my God, the dicking I would give her would be so mean, bruh. It'd be crazy. I'd be out here defiling that man's wife. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you want to be out here fucking on my wife? That's cool, bro. That's cool. And I would do it in a way where like I would want us to get caught. You know what I mean? I'd be so fucking petty. I would want us to get caught. But see, I ain't gonna let her know that. It'd be one of those things where like, nah, man, I'm not about to be fucking her in your bed. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be taking her everywhere in the house. You know what I mean? Up in the kitchen, in the living room. You're not just about to have my booty sweat on your blankets. You about to have my booty sweat on your couch. You gonna have my booty sweat on your floors. You gonna have my booty sweat on your counters. You gonna have my booty sweat everywhere. My ball juices, all that shit. You gonna have it everywhere you go, nigga. Cause I'm defiling your wife on every piece of furniture possible. Oh man, I get petty with it, bruh. I ain't gonna cap. Yeah. All right, how did you find out you were getting cheated on? When I saw her reflected in his sunglasses in a picture that he texted me. So you saw a picture of the girl in the reflection of his sunglasses, and that's how you knew he was cheating? Maybe it was like a text thread or something like that, and then she saw the picture in there. I don't know. I don't know how you would deduce that, like, because I know if, like, say, I was in that position and I saw that, sure, I'd question it, but, I mean, maybe that's what led to her finding out that she got cheated on. It makes sense. Damn. Bitches, she's got that Hawkeye vision, man. You better watch out. All right, this is going to be our last one for this thread. How did you find out you were getting cheated on? She stopped giving me hugs. Sometimes you just know. Fuck, guys. Thanks for all the love. Damn. Together for about 8 years, married for only 3. Crazy story, but we were living in an abusive scenario with another person, and she was what was keeping me sane. It was rough to realize that she was cheating on me with this guy. Dang, that's wild. I feel better now. Definitely learned over time that question yourself, and spending time wondering what you could have done different is essentially pointless. Facts. But that's wild. She wouldn't even give you a hug, my dude. And that goes to show you what I mean, where it's like, you know when your partner is cheating, and that's why I say, going up behind your partner all the time is a waste of time. You know what I mean? It is. It's a waste of time. Like, if you feel like you have to go up behind your partner all the damn time, or you got to be behind your partner all the time. I said this on the free Patreon episode. If you're constantly having to go up behind your partner, wondering if they're cheating all the time and doing all this and all that, odds are they are. You know what I mean? Odds are they are. Why? Because you understand their normal mannerisms better than anyone else. And the moment they start acting different, you already know. You already know what's going down. I get it. A lot of people look at it like, no, I want definitive proof and this and that. But a lot of times us P, you already know. You already know what's going on. You know what I mean? And then, of course, like I said, you can set boundaries and stuff like that. And if the boundaries get further, broken and pushed, then it's time to go. It's time to go in the relationship. But yeah, man, hey, glad you figured it out. But damn, that's got to suck. The fact that you were like in an abusive situation with some dude you guys lived with, and the whole time she out here fucking the dude that is being abusive to you. Like, bruh. You know what I mean? Like, man, that's wild. Absolutely wild. But you guys let me know what you think about this thread in the comments down below. If you guys have ever, had a situation where you've been cheated on, or you found out you got cheated on, or whatever, definitely let me know down in the comments. I'd love to hear it. Without further ado, let's get into announcements, and then we'll get right on into our scenarios. So, patreon.com/Am I the Asshole Podcast. Get an exclusive episode every single Friday, as well as being able to send in your scenario to be featured on the Tuesday and Sunday show, like these lovely people did for today. All right. Audio listeners, thank you guys so much for coming out every week, hanging out with your boy, listening to your boy. I really appreciate that. Keep downloading the episodes, as well as rating us 5 stars on your preferred platform. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, as well as subscribing on YouTube. All of that is free, and it helps out so very much. Thank you for all the support, and I really appreciate you. This week, we are going to be changing up the streaming schedule. I did mention this on the Friday episode, but I am going to mention it on this episode as well as the Thursday episode, just so that way, if you didn't catch it on the Friday episode or whatever the case may be, I'm just going to keep reminding you guys throughout the week. That way you guys know. So, normally I stream Friday, Sunday, and Monday. That is not going to change. The only thing that is going to change is we are going to be adding a streaming day on Wednesday. All right. So we're going to be adding a stream day on Wednesday. And then on Friday, I'm pushing stream back from 5 p.m. to 2 p.m. Okay. So on Fridays, we'll be streaming from 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and then it'll be Sunday, Monday. Those will be Sunday, Monday, and Wednesday will be 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. All right. So let you guys know that. I went ahead and, move some things around so that way I can add another streaming day. Now that I've kind of gotten used to streaming, I've kind of gotten used to like the setup and how I'm doing it and all that good stuff. I decided, why not add another day in and be able to do more content for you guys. All right. So, definitely check that out. Come and hang out with your boy on Friday, Sunday, Monday, or Wednesday. All right. Without further ado, let's get into our scenarios for today. All right. Our first one is, am I the asshole for throwing ex's belongings outside on the lawn before Thanksgiving? Oh, man. As you know, Thanksgiving was probably a couple weeks ago. So, you know what I mean? We are going to get a little Thanksgiving episode or Thanksgiving scenarios and stuff like that. So, first time posting. So here it goes. All right. First time. Welcome, for backstory, for context, because everyone deserves the whole story, but not enough room for it all. Me, 42-year-old woman, dating Doug. Oh, man, we're blasting Doug. All right, a 46-year-old man for just over a year. Things were good. Oh, dang, you guys have only been dating for a year. We never argued and worked really well in the kitchen and any other aspect of life and project. I mean, you guys have only been dating a year, so yeah, it's going to seem that way. Some political and religious views and same ideas on how to raise children. I have 4 kids and he has 2. Neither living with them. Things were really quite amazing. We met and instantly felt an attraction and a true connection. He was everything I could have hoped for. I was slightly obsessed. He was nearly perfect. I was so in love with us. Fast forward to 6 months ago. He was supposed to be moving in with my girls and I, and but got scared. He is a dismissive avoidant and started learning about that. I am a recovering anxious attacher, going to counseling and really working on some things from past relationships to become secure. He postponed moving in. Fine. I was patient and waited. We worked on things. My gut told me something else was going on, but he assured me things were fine and we needed more time. Fast forward to a month ago, Doug got scared again. Started moving in and he froze. He ended up needing a break, but temporarily moved in with his ex's parents. That's a little crazy. Okay. Weird, but he assured me nothing was going on and he just needed some time, blah, blah, blah. Last night he was playing with his friends. I was with a friend of mine doing my own thing in a different place. I got a message from a Dart friend asking me if Doug and I were broken up. I said no. She said, well, he's making out with someone that isn't you, so turns out he was with his ex-girlfriend. To some degree, I'm like, you already knew that. You know what I mean? Like, come on, ladies, let's be real here. If your man was just like freaking out about moving in with you, and then he's like, oh, I'm going to go live with my ex's parents. Come on now. You know what I mean? Let's just be honest here. Like, that's a major red flag. All right. He said he did it in a public setting, not because he wanted to get back with his ex, but because he wanted to hurt me so bad to make sure I wouldn't take him back because he isn't good enough for me. I was confused.
Stop the cap.
What? What are you talking about? Oh, I only made out with my ex in public so that way you would find out and then you wouldn't take me back and I wanted to hurt you so bad. Nigga, get out my face with that. Come on, man. He said that I pushed him so far away when I expressed some concerns that I had about his avoidant behaviors and would like a little more communication from him. Blamed me for it. Nice one, buddy. So I called my girls and had them start throwing all his shit out on the lawn. I brought friends home with me and we cleared the house of his belongings, leaving electronics and valuables mostly in the garbage. Clothing and other shit I let my girls throw in the yard. Some things did get a little damaged, but nothing major. I told him to come get his things right away so they wouldn't get ruined, but he was too cowardice to show up. He only showed up the next day after everyone was gone. Most of his things were outside. My cop friend asked if we were okay because it looked like we had got broken into. So I made a sign outside letting the world know that he was going on and that we were okay. He felt I was overly dramatic involving my girls and friends. So am I the asshole for throwing his stuff outside, risking it getting ruined or even stolen? Or I should mention someone that came to help did scratch his T-Bird, but I didn't okay that. Yes. Look, I get what he did. Completely fucked up. You know what I mean? I am right there with you. Mad as fuck. Like, what the fuck, dude? You could have just broken up with her. You could have just voiced your concerns and you guys could have talked about things. You know what I mean? Or you could have just broken up with her and it would have been what it was. You clearly wanted to be with your ex-girlfriend and you capped like you know, were afraid of something or you were making it into something else. Like you were lying the whole time. Okay. Let's just be on dopey. You were lying the whole time. Okay. And you wanted to be with your ex. We get it. But for her, putting his stuff, like just throwing his shit out haphazardly and all that kind of stuff, it was so unnecessary. All right, it was so unnecessary. It's doing too much when you could have easily, and I mean this, you could have easily just packed all this shit up and you could have just put it out on the sidewalk. And then what you could have really done if you really wanted to like fuck his shit up, put a big fat free sign on that shit and let motherfuckers rummage through it. Let motherfuckers, you know what I mean? Let it put a free sign on that shit. You know, because doing all this just makes you look crazy. All right, let's be honest here. It just makes you look crazy. Even though what homeboy did, yes, it's wrong. It was bad. This and that. He shouldn't have did it. I understand how you feel in the way you feel because of what he did. But now you just look crazy. Now, if you would have packed this stuff up all nice and neat, put it out on the sidewalk, slapped a free sign on it, you know what I mean? Let the Mexicans come and get it because you know they will. They come and get it with their pickup truck. And be like, oh, well, I put your stuff out on the curb. You should have came and got it. You know, the Mexicans came and they got it. You know what I mean? You know, Jose and Felipe down the street. Yeah, bro. They out there mowing the lawn with his shirts on and shit. I'm just saying, it's like, dude, you didn't have to do all that. That was just very extra. You could have just packed all that shit up and you could have just put it on the sidewalk. And then again, if you really wanted to be petty, you really wanted to be mean, you go ahead and draw a nice big free sign, slap it on there and be like, yeah, go ahead, take whatever you want. That's my thing. You know, I think there's ways to be petty, but there's ways to do it where it just don't make you look crazy. You know what I mean? Like throwing all his shit out there, that just makes you look crazy. All right, let's be honest. That just makes you look crazy. So that's my 2 cents on it. You guys let me know what you think about it in the comments. That's wild. All right. Am I overreacting? Boyfriend's friend cheating wife threw herself at him and he is still friendly with them. So her boyfriend's friend's cheating wife threw herself at him. Okay. God, I wish you would write this like simpler so we would understand it a little easier. So her boyfriend has a friend. His wife is a cheater, and the wife was trying to get at her boyfriend. All right. My boyfriend and I have been together for 2.5 years. He recently shared a story with me that a year or two before he and I met, the wife, Jane, one of his friends, John, threw herself at him one night at the end of a party. Everyone was in their late 30s, early 40s with kids. Too early for these nonsense, in my opinion. He has known these people since high school. She has apparently made suggestive comments in the past, but he always brushed them off. I don't think he's always brushed them off. I think the only reason why she's still crazy about him is because he's probably fucked her. At least once. All right, at least once. Because you got to understand, even crazy bitches know their limit. All right? Even crazy bitches will give up every once in a while. Or eventually they'll give up. But I think it's a thing where, you know what I mean, he gave her the slip of the pickle a couple times. And, you know, it's what kept her crazy and kept her around. Like, you know what I mean? I get it, though. White lies, which you don't know won't hurt her. I get it. Apparently at the end of the party, everybody had gone to bed and my boyfriend and another male friend were just chilling in the basement watching TV when Jane quietly walked into the dark room and joined boyfriend on the couch. She was apparently very drunk and proceeded to climb on top of him and tried to kiss him, like full on put her lips on his lips. Boyfriend was so caught off guard and shocked that he froze and did nothing. And she climbed off of him and went to bed to join her husband. Male friend on the other couch saw everything, and boyfriend agreed not to say anything to John and just write it off as a drunken mistake on her part. They also feel some sort of sympathy for her because apparently John was known for mistreating Jane, verbally abusing, and so on and so on. So they didn't want to cause more problems nor get involved. Fast forward to a year ago when John called boyfriend distraught, saying that he had caught Jane cheating on him with the dad of one of their kids' friends. Bro. Woo! All right. John asked boyfriend if he had ever seen any red flags with Jane. Oh, shit. Boyfriend kept her secret. Boyfriend tells me it's because he didn't want to hurt John or get involved in their drama. They decided to stay together and repair their marriage and move to a new city and start over. I asked my boyfriend if Jane had ever tried to talk to him since. He said no, but he also told me he would be friendly and chat with her if he ever found himself at a social event with her present. I feel like I'm going crazy because 1, why would someone lie to their friend when asked for the truth about friend's cheating partner? 2, why would someone remain friendly with a person who essentially assaulted them while married to their friend? Am I overreacting? Am I totally overthinking this or being too dramatic by saying he should cut these people out of his life? Well, okay. 1, I understand why he lied. All right. Because I guarantee you it was a situation where John, he was so blindly in love with Jane that if he did say something like that, I think John would be in a position where it'd be hard for him to believe it. Okay? If he was just like, oh yeah, your girl came when we had that party, me and I don't know, Tom were in the basement watching TV. She came down, she climbed up on top of me, and she, was kissing on me or whatever. He may look at it like, I know John and I know how he is, and I know if I told him that, it would sound unbelievable to him and he would disregard it regardless. You know what I mean? So I think that's why he did it, because he felt like, bro, he wouldn't believe me even if I told her, or even if I told him. So that's why I lied and looked at it like it is what it is. I know I would do the same thing with a friend just because I would know how, he is. And if he's that type of guy where he's not going to believe me, even if I told him, I would look at it like it is what it is. That's why in the thread, when those friends were like, hey, let's go to the movies, and they were like, oh shit, is that Sharkeisha? Holy shit. You know what I mean? And they showed him that homegirl was cheating on him. Like, that is what I'm sure he looked at it like. I would have to show John that Jane is cheating. He has to see it with his own eyes in order to believe it. And that's why the shit happened with Jane and, that dude's dad or whatever, that kid's dad. You know what I mean? Because I guarantee it was a situation where he saw it firsthand and was like, holy shit, she's cheating on me. I don't think he would have believed it if, just hearing it over the phone. I think that's his justification for it, because that happens. There are guys that are like that and they don't believe it. And so I think that, to me, I feel is perfectly justified. Now, as far as like him being like, nah, I would completely be, cordial with her and chilling and all that kind of stuff. That's kind of a hit or miss. You know what I mean? Now, if it's one of those things where you feel uncomfortable with it and that's a boundary you want to set, let him know that. You know what I mean? Talk to him about it. Let him know, hey, look, I get that you would be cool talking to him, or talking to her, but I wouldn't be cool with you talking to her. I just would feel uncomfortable with that. I would hope that, you wouldn't talk to her, even if it's just a friendly setting or whatever the case may be, just for the simple fact that I would feel uncomfortable with it. I think she'd be on some demon time, and I just don't really trust her. I trust you, but I don't trust her, type deal. And I think he would be okay with that, just because, in his own words, she has tried to, get at him, and he has blocked all her advances, which I think is cap, if I'm being honest with you. I think it's a thing where he's fucked her at least once or twice, and that's what keeps her kind of coming back. But he says he never, did anything with her, or whatever the case may be. So that would make me think that if that's true, and you set this boundary, I think he would be 100% fine with it. But I think the only reason why he wouldn't be upset or fine with it is because he kind of wants to keep that carrot on the string. I'm just saying. I don't know, but it's, But hey. But yeah. I don't think you're overreacting, because it is a boundary I think you should set. You know what I mean? Set the boundary. Make sure that it's out there at least. He knows that you feel uncomfortable with that. Because if you don't say anything, then he's just going to continue talking to old girl, and then you're going to feel some type of way about it, and then it puts a wedge between you guys, and you don't want to do that. All right? So, yeah. Just let him know. You guys let me know what you think about that one in the comments, though. Okay. On to our next one. Am I wrong for feeling peaceful after a breakup? Am I weird? I cried the time it happened. She reached out to me 3 days later. I was already feeling peace. She said she doesn't want me to go away. We ended up agreeing we will not block each other, but we will stay non-contact for a long time by message or before any message. She was a good friend of mine, so I don't see why we should cut off each other altogether. However, I've been missing her, and simultaneously life has become so peaceful. Like, I really love this. I wish she didn't message me for like a year, and I'll be fine. Our relationship had turned toxic in the end. She called me a narcissist piece of shit. However, apologized 3 days later. Is there something I'm not able to understand? Why am I feeling this way? She broke up with me 8 times earlier and reached out the day after. I feel bad for feeling peaceful after she is gone because she was in a toxic household, and I told her I won't get tired of her and will be supportive, but my reaction shows I was tired, and even worse, I didn't tell her, but it did end up affecting our relationship. This is why you feel peace. Because if I'm being honest with you, you already said it. And it's funny, I love when people like give the answer to their question, but don't realize that they have already had the answer to the question. She broke up with you 8 times. Okay? 8 times before you guys came to this breakup and you guys are no contact and all that kind of stuff. You want to know why you feel peaceful? Because you're not constantly going through the bullshit that you were going through. 8 times? Bro, you were done after the 3rd. You were peaceful after the 3rd time, my guy. I guarantee you. I guarantee you the first time you were devastated. Oh my God. First time you were devastated. You were sad. Oh my God. I don't know if I can live without her. This and that. You guys get back together. Second time rolls around. You're sad. Not as sad, but you're sad. And you're just like, damn, man, this really sucks. Like, I really cared about her. I really loved her. This is and that. You guys get back together. Then the 3rd time rolls around. And you've already gone through the, oh my God, I don't know what I'm going to do. And then you've already gone through the, man, damn, this is really tough. At that point, you're kind of just like, you know what? I'm kind of cool. She wants to get back together. You guys get back together. Every time after that, that's how you probably felt. Was some inkling of peace where you're just like, the house is quiet. I'm not dealing with her bullshit. I go to work. I come home. I don't have her nagging in my ear. You know what I mean? I don't have to worry about when I'm getting home from work. You just have this sense of peace because you already gone through the bullshit 8 times, mind you. And like I said, I guarantee you by the 3rd time, you were already feeling the peace, bro. You were already feeling the peace. This was already you. You know what I mean? So, again, that's your answer. You've already answered your question here. The reason you feel peace and the reason you're already kind of at this point in your life is simply because of the fact that you've been there, done it 8 times, bro. And at this point, you're a veteran at getting broken up with by this girl. Like, let's be honest here. Like, I have nothing else to say. Like, that's your answer. It's not normal. It's normal for you. But, yeah, bro. So, you guys let me know what you think about it in the comments. Because, yeah, that's it. Like, you already said it. I always think that is so funny, though, when people do that. All right, this is going to be our last one for today's episode. If you got this far in the episode, thank you so much. Appreciate you. Love you. Definitely get on the Patreon. Thank you for downloading the episodes. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, as well as YouTube. And let's get going. Am I wrong? Is my husband online flirting? All right, I want to transfer all my phone photos of my kid to my husband's PC for safekeeping. But once I turned on his PC, his games in Discord open up. When the Discord opened, I saw a couple messages with some girls. I'm used to him playing games with girls. I used to play video games with him before. We had our kid, and most of the girls are very nice and respectful since they knew that he's married. I started scrolling and reading a convo he had with a new girl he's been playing with. This is how the convo went. Gamer girl. Just zoomed your pic. You are a big boy, Eric. The fuck? Okay. Eric, lol, with a laughing emoji. Gamer girl, haha, thanks, see you, with a kissy heart emoji. Gamer girl, as in, I like what I see, bye. Eric, lol, I would be offended if you didn't say that. And then that nigga got a little smug face emoji on there, like, you know. And then lots of kiss, hot, sweating emojis. I couldn't read all of it, but I got pissed, so I took one pic of the convo and left. It looked like he's been talking to this girl for 8 months or so. I later asked him about it, and he said he's not flirting. I want to note that we've been having issues and been going through couples therapy. But 2 months ago, he refused to go back to therapy, and I said, that's okay. Am I wrong to assume this is flirting? I didn't get a chance to look at the rest. I tried to look at his Discord, but he deleted all the messages already. Oh, yeah. Yeah. If just in that little snippet that you gave us, and you know what I mean? And then he's been talking to this girl for 8 months. Oh, 100%. 100%. Bro looks at it like the grass is greener on the other side. He has this idealistic view of, you know, his life and relationship with this girl. It's definitely one of those things where, yeah, if I'm being honest with you, and I guarantee it's a thing where this girl probably lives in a different state. She probably lives far away. So, you know, he kind of looks at it like, it's just mindless, you know, flirting. It's just mindless talking. It is what it is. Nothing's going to happen. But I think at the same time, he's like, I hope something happens. You know, at the same time, I think he's like, I hope something happens. You know what I mean? I wouldn't mind if me and this girl started a relationship, if me and this girl started doing stuff, whatever it may be. So, yeah. 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 And this is what I mean. This is what I mean. When I say that you know your partner best. Once they start changing up and acting a little different, odds are 9 times out of 10, they're cheating. And it's one of two things. It's either one, they haven't done anything, but they want something to happen, or two, they are already doing something. You know what I mean? And I would argue in this guy's case, he's already doing something because he has this flirty dialogue with this girl. He's opening up this dialogue, getting it to a point where it can be or possibly be something. You know, and so, yeah, man. Yeah, your boy's flirting. Your boy flirting, and he has this idealistic, you know, view of their relationship. That's what it comes down to. It's the fantasy of being with this magical girl, or, you know what I mean, this mystery girl or whatever. You know, he's just imagining it. He's letting his imagination run wild with this girl. And that's what it comes down to. So, yeah. Yeah, your boy he's doing his thing. You do what you gonna do with your relationship, but I'm telling you now, yes. Yeah, and I think even the listeners would agree that, yeah, you know, just by how I read through the messages, you know, that she took a picture of, it's like, it's kind of obvious. So you guys let me know what you think about it in the comments, as well as everything that we've gone over for today. Love you guys so much, and I appreciate you guys for coming in and hanging out, checking out this Tuesday episode. I will see you guys on Thursday, where we'll be continuing and possibly almost finishing King of Wrath. I think we'll be done with King of Wrath by the end of this month. So that's pretty exciting. So we'll go ahead and we should be getting done with that book pretty soon. Again, I am taking book recommendations, so definitely let me know what kind of books you want to read and want to go over. But that's going to be it for your boy for today. Love you guys all. See you on Thursday, and peace.